Welcome to Skin Deep. I'm Dr. Anna Chacon, and today we have a very special guest joining us. Get ready for some expert insights you won't want to miss. Let's dive right in.
So tell me, so your dad had a jet ski business?
Right, so I'll start from the top. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's start
Yeah.
over. So, yeah, I'm Christy Swaid. My racing name was Christy Carlson. I was born in Chicago and raised in Chicago, but my father opened jet ski rentals all over Southwest Florida when I was in the 70s. I was like 7 years old the first time I got on a jet ski. And whenever we visited our dad, my brothers and I have two older brothers. The rule was keep up or get left behind. So I either played by myself independently, or I was going 90 to nothing on everything fun, but namely jet skis. And then, funny enough, it became my career path very unexpectedly. The sport exploded in the late 80s, early 90s. We were on ESPN with ratings that competed with summer baseball. And all of that leveraged lots of great endorsements and turned it into a really exciting career.
Okay, great. How many years have you been doing this on a professional level, or how many years did you do it?
So funny enough, I started racing at age 13, and I was just in school in Chicago, a suburb. And when it became more professional, I had to graduate high school early to go on the national tour, which started in California and worked its way across the nation. And then in the off season, we traveled all over the world. So um, I started professionally in 1989. I was 18 years old. And it forced me to move from Chicago away from my family and everything familiar and get based in LA. But we traveled, like I said, I lived out of a suitcase. We traveled all over to ride rivers, lakes, oceans, waves, you name it, we rode it.
Wow. Did you ever see any like animals that maybe you were afraid of, manta rays or sharks or
Great
anything like
white sharks. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I have
that?
been stung by manta war. I've seen manta ray jump out of the water next to me. Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell you the hours on the water. I mean, it was a lifetime in the water, and I've seen it all, and it's magnificent. Every single living creature, scary or not, is magnificent.
Wow, cool. And what was some of the hardest jet ski environment that you were in? Like you mentioned about lakes and were you in rivers and stuff like that, or did you stumble upon rocks or anything in the ocean? Yeah.
Yeah, you can Google this. I've got three thoughts just crashed into my awareness. I'll start with the first, South Africa. Huge waves off of the coast of Durban um and and then also there's this string of buoys that I was kind of warming up and just carving corners around. And it turned out those are shark nets, and that's very great white territory. So that was interesting.
Mm.
Big waves, ferocious. Then, as far as rivers go, I did a show on the Outdoor Channel, and it was called The Wild River Journey. And we actually rode bottom to top, which had never been done. The story was that for hundreds of years, voyagers traveled from top to bottom, and this is in the New River Gorge in West Virginia, one of the, like class 5 rapids. But can a vessel get from bottom to top? So the only vessel that could potentially do it would be something that could travel in shallow water at high speed, which left it to a jet ski. So they picked the top men and women. Well, I was the only woman chosen to do this journey. And yes, we rode from bottom to top. We ripped the bottoms out of the skis by slamming into rocks and boulders. And but we did it, and it was super cool. And if you Googled Wild River Journey on the New River Gorge jet ski, Christy Carlson, you'll probably find it somewhere on the internet.
Okay, cool. And then I'm not familiar with where jet skis are made out of, where they're made. Is there a particular manufacturer or Are they made in the United States, China, Europe, Japan? You know, where's this jet ski industry, usually come from?
So I freely use the word jet ski, which is a brand name because I was sponsored by Kawasaki for so many years. In fact, I was told that I bleed green. That's their team colors. However, I did at some point have to race a Yamaha and a Polaris. So let's put that in perspective. The sport is called personal watercraft racing. The very first jet ski ever invented was invented by Kawasaki. And that's what I started on, and that's flows right off the tip of my tongue so easily. But there are several manufacturers, and you probably have heard of Sea-Doo. Like people think of a sit-down watercraft as a Sea-Doo. They often associate that. Well, in fact, Kawasaki has a jet ski version of a sit-down watercraft. Gets a little complicated, but the ones I'm referring to are the stand-up watercraft, which are much more challenging. I did race all the types of hulls that are out there because that was my job. Um, and they like to run what they marketed and what they sold the most of. The original question is, where are they made? Well, Kawasaki is originally made in Japan, but I'm pretty sure manufacturing all happens in America.
Okay, cool. And then I'm just curious. I heard your husband is a neurosurgeon. Is that true?
Mhm. Yes.
Where did you guys meet? Because it seems like, and it's great, you do two completely different things.
Oh yeah.
I'm just curious how you met. Yeah.
He's an extreme sport all in and of himself. We're told that we're like two train tracks going in we're separate but very parallel. So he takes what he does to the ultimate highest level. He's clipped aneurysms that no one wanted to touch. He's done cases that have really set him apart among neurosurgeons. He's what I would call a top gun. And his personality type is very exciting because he's a risk taker, but not in the area of safety. So I tend to challenge his capacity for tolerance of safety issues.
Yeah. I'm sure you've probably heard of people getting into accidents on jet skis. I think I've even heard of that, even though it's not my area of medicine. I'm a dermatologist. But what are some of the accidents or safety precautions? What are some of the accidents that you've heard of on jet skis that terrified you or made you think twice about, what you do? And then what are some precautions you would give the general public and, to avoid these things?